Hey everybody, Dan here. Welcome back to the Global Run Club. Listen, it's race day, the ECT 15, East Coast Trail 15. This is part of the East Coast Trail Race Series. It's got the 15, the 50%, and the 50K. Today's the 15-kilometer trail race. I'm not racing today, I'm volunteering. Volunteering is a really important part of being involved in your local trail community, and that's what I'm up to today. So right now, I'm driving to grab a bunch of water for the finish line, and then I'm going to head out and see a bunch of people run their first ever trail race, which is super exciting. And today on the Global Run Club, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to succeed at your first trail race. So stick around.
Three, two, one, go.
Thanks, Danny.
All right, they're off. The racers are heading towards Flat Rock from here in Poochka. They've got 15 kilometers to race. It's going to be a perfect day for them. I'm really excited. I'm heading to the finish line shortly to help them set up and to help time people as they come in. But I want to give you my first tip for your first trail race, and that's be prepared. So you want to know the course, get an understanding of what the course is, the directions, where you're going. Ideally, you can put it on your watch if you've got a fancy running watch, and understand the elevation profile. Trail running's different. There's lots of rocks and roots, and hills can really make a difference. It's not like a road race. Tip number 2 is essential gear. Look, you don't need that much to become a trail runner and to get out for your first trail race. But basically, there's 3 bits of gear that you actually need. Number 1, you need a good pair of trail shoes. Something with some good grip, something that feels comfortable for long hours out on the trail. It's really important that you test your shoes before you race. Those shoes are going to be the difference between blisters and a rotten day and feeling comfortable while you're out. That's the first thing. Second, some hydration. Some people like a hydration pack for sure. I do as well. Some people just go with a handheld for a shorter race, that's fine, but take something with you. You can't always count on aid stations, especially for shorter trail races like this 15K race that's happening today. And then the third thing I will say about essential gear is layers. Trail running is a little bit different than road running. Road running, when you go outside, you can sort of feel what temperature it is and know. But in trail racing, especially here on the coast of Newfoundland and Labrador, you're going to find a bunch of different temperatures as you race. So if you're in the trees or out in the wind, maybe you can be really cold, whereas if you're in the sun, maybe you can get a bit warmer, you want to peel off a layer or two. So those are the 3 bits. Proper trail shoes with some grip on them, something to drink, and then layers. All right, we're just setting up the finish line here in Flat Rock. So let's talk race strategy for your first trail race. First thing you need to know, of course, is that trail running runs a lot slower than road running does. And so take it easy at the start of your first trail race. You've got elevation, you've got rocks, you've got roots. It's really important not to overdo it, especially at the start. The main goal of your first trail race is to finish with a smile on your face. You're not trying to win this thing. On any of those steep climbs, don't be afraid to walk. I mean, we like to call it power hiking, but walk up the hills if you need to. It's okay. What you don't want to do is burn out your legs on the first couple of uphills and then have nothing for the downhills. Speaking of downhills, they can be really hard on your quads, and so try to flow the downhills as best you can. What you want to do is small, controlled steps. Let yourself flow a little bit and enjoy the downhills. You can make up some pace there, but if you go too hard on the downs, you're going to bang up those quads and have nothing for the flats when you get near the end of the race. Now, this is a small community race today, the ECT 15. It looks like we've got about 30 runners out there. And it's important to keep trail etiquette in mind no matter whether you're racing or just out for a trail run, but especially if you're in a bigger trail race when there's going to be lots of people around. So, first thing with trail etiquette is, if someone comes up behind you and they're ready to pass, step to the side, offer them the trail, especially if you're on some single track. There's going to be lots of time to try to get them back if you can catch up to them, but it's really important that you don't hold anybody up. Trail running is funny. It can ebb and flow. Sometimes you've got lots of legs and ready to move, and sometimes you need to take a bit of a slower start, a bit of a slower section. And if people pass you, you might catch up with them, and that's okay. If you happen to pass somebody or come upon somebody during a trail race that appears to be struggling in any way, trail etiquette is not like a road race where you just run on by because there's going to be volunteers all over the place to help them. Offer them help. Look, it's important if you've got extra nutrition or hydration to share with somebody, especially if they're suffering. This isn't the type of thing where you can just leave somebody in your dust. The next time out, it might be you that needs the help. Look, it's really important as well in a trail race that you leave no trace. Like if you're eating gels or snacking on anything, make sure you don't leave any trash behind. The 2 seconds it takes you to stop and pick up a piece of trash that you dropped accidentally is not going to be the difference in the win or loss of a trail race. And even if it is, it's the right thing to do. We've got to keep our we've got to keep our beautiful spaces clean and beautiful. The other thing about trail racing that's so much different than road racing that I love is that the vibes are just better. And so if you pass somebody, give them some encouragement. I always invite them to come along. I tell them that it's easier to keep up than to catch up. I ask them if they need anything. Let them know they'll probably catch me on the next hill. Just try to cheer for other runners, even if you're competing against them. The other thing that's really cool about trail races that I love is that when the front runners hang around the finish line, there can be a really long time between the first finishers and the last finishers. But some of my favorite times are if I happen to be lucky enough to finish early, to hang around at a finish line and see those last runners come in. The finish line at a trail race is a bit like the international arrivals section of an airport. Like, it's just good vibes. Everyone's excited to be there. People see each other. It feels like you've seen them for the first time, even though you've been out there sharing the trail for a long time. And so I love that. Keep the vibes high. The most important muscle in any trail race is the one you keep between your ears. This sport is mental, and I don't mean that in some sort of abstract way, but it is important that you go into a trail race knowing that it's going to be hard. It's a really difficult thing to do. That's part of the reason that we do it. And so get yourself mentally prepared. Get that muscle between your ears ready to go. Your head, your brain is going to quit long before your body needs to. And so when you're out on a trail race, you've got to be prepared. And the way to do that is in training to do some hard work. Nice long workouts that are on the same type of terrain over the same type of distance that you're going to be racing are really, really helpful to make your first trail race a great experience. So if it's a 15-kilometer trail race and your longest trail run is 7K, well, you're probably not ready for how that kilometer 13 and 14 are going to feel. And so it's really, really important to be mentally ready. If you're not mentally ready, you're going to find a reason to quit. You'll start to feel hurt, even though you're not actually hurt. And so be ready, suffer a little bit, and know that the suffering is for you. That's part of the reason we do it.
Well, there you have it. The runners are all in here at Flat Rock. What a great day for a race. Everyone did really well. Now that the race is over, my last tips are about recovery. You want to get some carbs in and some protein. Please make sure you're well hydrated. And then don't stand around congratulating each other in bush wet clothes. Make sure you bundle up because you get for full pretty quick. Look, at the Global Run Club, we want everyone to achieve whatever running goals you're excited about. And I sure wish I had known these things before I ran my first trail race, though those many years ago. I'll be back out racing soon enough, but I have to be honest, today volunteering was a total hoot. So if you haven't done it, try to support your local trail races by getting out there and volunteering. Here at the Global Run Club from Brad and Neil and I, thanks for being with us and catch you next time.